Let's do this. Hi guys, Todd here. Review time? Or first look? Well, not a first look, or maybe it is for you. Who knows? Do we have any banter? Do we say hello to everybody in chat? There's Adrian. Hello, Adrian. No awkward questions, Adrian. You have to save them for the end. No, hello to everybody that is here in chat. This will, if you're watching this after it's live, there is a good chance that you may want to skip all this bullshit and just get to the meat and potatoes, because I'll probably waffle for a little while yet. You can't call me that, Sasha. That's our secret name for one another. Right, let's just dive into this now. I've got to go back and find all the information I've got. I'm not saying that I have notes for this, but I have a little Greek friend that's made lots of notes for me. So hopefully we'll get this right. I'm not sure if we have anybody from Atmizoo in chat. If I was them, I wouldn't admit or own up to being in chat, just in case they get awkward questions. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, once again, this is a live. Things could go wrong, things could break, but the short and sweet version is that this video is going to be for the Tripod V2. Obviously, there was a Tripod V1, which was an RTA from Atmizoo that came out 2 years ago? Is it longer than that? Christ, I can't remember now. It must be longer than 2 years. Who knows? It came out before the V2 anyway. I'm not going to look at chat because you're all just being horrible to me. Which I like. So, yes, the V1 was... Right. Putting it simply, the V1 had some issues for me. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but for me, there's a couple of things I didn't like. One thing you can't take away from the V1, that the way it performed was excellent. The flavour from it, be it mouth to lung, restricted direct lung, or fully open, was fantastic. The things I didn't like about it was that there was moving parts inside it that kept moving. That has been addressed with the V2. I've had this for 5 or 6 days now, I think 5 or 6 days. I've had one mouth to lung build through it, a restricted direct lung and a direct lung build through it, and I've put a fair amount of juice through it, but once again, I've only had it for the 5 days with 3 builds. There are possibly certain things that I'll miss here, but you'll be glad to know there is a manual that you can go and read before you buy it. So don't take what I'm saying here as 100% gospel. And if there's anything that you notice that I'm getting wrong, shout out. Shout out. I'm not a professional. Right, it's coming soon. You were able to buy the V2 in Paris at Vape Expo or Vap Expo. Then I think it's getting released on the Facebook group maybe first, and then it will hit the shops after that. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's working. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, but that's the way it's working. We'll go with, what we're going to go with is there's going to be 2 versions. The 2 versions. So I'm going to paraphrase, I'm going to quote this here. There's going to be a deluxe edition, which is what I have, and I'm going to show you that. And there's a basic edition. So the difference between the two is that the deluxe edition, 130 euros, will include the mouth to lung pins kit, which is 0.8, 1, 1.2, 1.5. And the airflow tubes kit, also included, is 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Obviously without it, I think it's 4. You get a 4mm pin as well, a standard, I think. Yes, that's the difference. The basic edition will cost €105. It doesn't come with any pins or air tubes, only the pre-installed 4mm air tube. So that's all that comes with the basic. And that's, as the Tassus says here, that's to make it more affordable, gives customers the chance to only purchase the set of airflow regulators that they actually need, if they need it. And that's that. I'm not going to show you the manuals. You don't have to see the manuals. I've not really read the manuals. As usual, I've just been taking this to bits and putting it back together again a few times, and hopefully I know what I'm doing. Right. There's a few people in here watching this. Good evening. Right, I'm going to have a little vape. Sorry, have a little drink of coffee, and now I'll have a vape. I just... not related. Delro. That's the new Hussar Bridge RBA. The S something something. Somebody in chat will know. Loads of air. Loads of air. 4.8 I think is the size of the hole, and I've never had so much air through a borrow tank, but it's really good. I'll do a video for that soon. Did I just see Mark Robson? The Mark Robson, Robbo. Oh, we're blessed. That can't be the real one, is it? A pleasure, sir. A pleasure. The new Paul, stop it. Stop it. Right, here we go. Please, vaping gods, shine on me tonight. Shine on me tonight. Don't let me get this wrong. The STM. Obviously, Rebuildable Ryan will be doing a video for the STM before me, because he's kind of like that. He does that kind of thing. Also, the STM that we will be showing off is a prototype. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this video. Let's do this. Right. Why is that? No. Why is that colour? That's not what's here. That's not what is here. What you're seeing in the screen. Why does it always do that? Oh well. To hang with it. You're just gonna remember, you're getting a cut price Aldi reviewer here, so the same goes for my video quality. But right, obviously it's going to arrive in an Atmizoo box and an Atmizoo tin, so I can put that to one side just now. We do have, this is actually the extension kit that I have here, and because we're talking about the extension kit, we'll get this out the way as well, because this is important information that I will forget. Okay. The open chimney version, the stock version, the capacity is 2 milliliters of juice. If you put the restricted chimney in the stock version, you get 2.8 milliliters of juice. If you have the extended tank, if you put the open chimney in it, you get 3.4 milliliters of juice. If you use the restricted chimney, you'll get 3.8 milliliters of juice. There you go. I've said it, because I'll forget it. I'll forget it. So yeah, there we go. The maximum you'll get is 3.8, but that's only with a restricted and the extended chamber tank. Boom. Right. That's a bit harsh on Aldi. Can I swear in my lives? I don't know if I can swear. No, I won't swear. That would just be wrong. Let's go for it. Remember, this is the deluxe kit. This is everything in your bananas, and what was it? €130. Boom. You get stuff and stuff and stuff. I'm not allowed to show stuff anymore because YouTube, yeah, hunt you down and stuff, bam pots that they are. Can you see that okay? Yes, you can see that okay. Can we go in a little bit? There we go. That'll do. Right. I think this was how it came. I can't remember. I've cleaned it all up, or cleaned it up as much as I can, and I put it back in the box. This is not from my toolkit for the car. This was actually stuck here, I think it was. Yeah, that was stuck there. So that's what came in the box. You're going to need this doodah here at some point. I'll put that to one side. You're going to get an extra tank in here as well. Get you out of there. Come out. There we go. Extra glass tank. And there's the, what do you want to call it? Do you want to call it your mouth to lungy type drip tip? We'll go with that. And whilst we're in, is there stuff underneath? I've not looked underneath. There's a thing. Will we get the calipers out? Will we do this properly? We might as well do this properly because it's just the guy I am. Let's zero this out. So the bore on the mouth to lung is about 3.77 on that. But we're not going to use that tonight. I'll pop that to one side. We have here your reduced, is this the reduced that's called? The restricted chimney, shall we call it? Restricted. So we'll get back to this in a second. But you get two chimneys. So we've got this one. And we have another one inside here. Here we have our lots of air. And here we have not so much air. So if you have tattoos and a beard, you'll be here. If you have glasses and like poetry, you'll be here. And that's what we have going on. And we have the tank itself. We do have stuff underneath. I knew I should have looked underneath. They always have a surprise in here. Oh, look, lots of bits. Post screws, O-rings. They actually tell you what size the O-rings are, which is really clever. And yeah, there we go. There's on a sticker. Oh, I'll have that. We'll pin that up later on. And we should have in here, we should have the 4mm tube should be pre-installed in here. And I'm just hoping that I remember to put it back in there and I've not lost it. Right, pop that to one side as well. Now obviously we have the other drip tip. This is for the wider air, and this is coming out at 5.2 for the bore on that. And don't get me wrong, these are how do we say, comfy, but I tend not to use them myself. I like to use my own 510 drip tips, and yes, you can use your own 510 drip tips. They don't wobble about. If I remember right, that could sometimes be an issue with the original tripod, was the drip tips. But I've had no issues with my own 510 drip tips on this. Right. One thing I will say, this is, I can't remember, it's 2mm shorter than the V1. So, there we go. 2mm shorter than the V1. But we have, listen, this is, I'm going to stick this on a doodah just now, because this is the stuff that matters. This is, if you had a V1, then this is where it gets very, very good. Okay, so right now you can see I have juice flow control is closed off. Airflow here, well, that stays open all the time because the air is controlled underneath the coil. We have our doodah up the top cap, and if you wanted to, you remember what the top cap was like before? Well, take a grab. That's it. It's just, boom. It's just that's it. It's so much better. It really is the biggest, not the biggest improvement, but it's one of the biggest improvements. Is just that. You can just, even when you're you know, when you're pissed and you're stumbling about in the dark and you want to fill your tripod up with juice, you can do it now. You couldn't do it before, but you can do it now. The other thing is obviously we have, if I turn this, it opens up the juice flow control there. If I turn it that way and then I keep turning, it's going to stop. There's a stop location and that comes off. So there's no spinning and spinning and spinning. It's that's it. It's so much better. It really is so much better. And I'm actually going to say this right now. I'll come out and say this just now. If you have a V1, you're okay with the mechanisms. Now, this is probably not what the Atmizoo guys want to hear, okay? If you're okay with the opening, closing, the top cap, filling with juice and all that and whatnot, stick with it. Be happy. You're getting a great vape, everything's good. If you don't own a V1, then don't buy a V1, buy the V2. If the stuff with the V1 pisses you off, then definitely buy a V2. But it's, for me, it's what the V1 should have been. But this is where we are now. This is where we are now. Anyway, let's jump back into it. It should be harder to take apart, or I'm not interested. And hello to everybody that's here in live just now. I can't. Yeah, I can't actually see chat. I'll get to questions and things like that once we get to the end. But right, let's shall we just we'll hoik that off just now. Obviously that's rubber. You will find that when you're vaping this, you'll see liquid maybe pulling round the top and round the side here a little bit round the side, but you'll get some up here. In the 5 days I've had it and been hammering it, I've had no juice actually seeping out of here at all. None at all. So that's a good thing. So we'll take that to bits, pop that over there. Obviously fill juice down through there. We'll take this off as well, and we'll leave that right now. Will I? I'm going to pop the extended tank on. It's exactly what I'm going to do now. Or give you a look at this. Can you see the differences there? That's your oh my god, I want lots of air, or I want a restricted direct lung. And this is the one where no, I don't. I would like a mouth to lung, or a tight restricted direct lung. So that's the difference between the two chambers. And once again, you get all this with the deluxe kit. But that's where this bit comes in, because we can stick this in here, and this will unscrew and fall out, because that's what happens when I'm working with stuff. And obviously you can just pull that off. Mind, keep an eye on your O-rings here, or your gaskets, or whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to pull that off as well. I'm going to leave that. I'm not wanting this just now, because excuse me, I'm trying to keep things nice and tidy here, and I'm making a mess. I've got my extended tank kit here, and I want the glass. And no, I don't want the glass first. I don't want. You get doodads with it. You get doodads. So, depending which one you want to use, obviously you've got the, you can go for the different chimneys. So you've got the mouth to lungy one, you've got the restricted direct lungy one. We're going with this one. And you've also got this doodah here that comes in the extension kit. And this is basically going to screw into that, if I remember right. No. Yes, that's going into that. I took this to bits not 10 minutes ago, and I've completely forgotten. Did that go over there like that? There we go. That sits on there like that. My tank's going to go on here like that. Then I'm going to get my top section. That's going to go in there like that. And then this piece drops back in there. And we're going to screw this together. Tighten that off. And that's me. I've got the extended tank. And obviously we've got tripod 2 on there. I really hope I did that right. I've got the chances of juice going everywhere are very, very high because I forget things. I forget things a lot, to be fair. Right, so that's the tank. We've done the tank. We've done the top cap. You know how all that works. But we'll just pop this to one side just now. And we'll get on to the deck. Now, the air pins. Now, the air pins that you get, it comes pre-installed with the 4mm tube. Ugh. That's the cotton tin. That's the wrong tin. Just pretend that you never saw that. This is what I was looking for. So it comes installed with the 4mm, and that's what your little air pins will pop into. Just put a little bit of e-liquid onto them. You know, you want to just make it a little bit moist, and they go in. That's no problem at all. But we're going to leave this 4mm in just now. Just for just now. Because it also does this. If I screw, boink. And that here, do I have a pointy tool of some description? This is how you get into your ear tubes. So you can do that on the fly. You don't have to mess about with your build. You can, if you're changing these out, you don't have to mess about with your build. Actually, you should be able to do that with the pin as well. Not 100% sure on that one. But do I want 4mm? We'll go with 4mm. What the hell? I'll leave that in there. There's one thing I did notice, or I have noticed, is I would say periodically you might have to take this out, because I did find that I was getting a little bit of condensation in here and round here. So it's just something to watch out for. Also, that O-ring. Watch out for that O-ring, because it fell out when I was cleaning it and I had no idea what it was for. So there we go. But that is the deck. It is much the same as before. Maybe a little bit tidied up here and tidied up there. We'll find a screwdriver. We'll back this off. Once again, I can't see chat right now, so bear with me. I will say there is no slop in these screws at all. That's them backed out, and there's no movement in them, so that's, once again, it's a sign of good machining, if you like. But pop that down there. We're going to get a coil. Mind you, the royalty is in the house, Mr. Frape. How the hell are you doing, sir? A pleasure as always. Let's back this off here. I'm actually going, because I'm going for the big air hole, I'm going for, this will actually be 0.36 ohm. It is my usual from PC Coils. It's the benchmark. And I have to say that this performs really, really well in this. Right, if I go out of... if you can't see what I'm doing, don't worry about it. Trust me, I'm a vaping professional and nothing's going wrong. Please God, don't let anything go wrong right now. If anything does go wrong, make sure they don't see it. Just make it look like I know what I'm actually doing for once. 10 years and nobody's noticed that I don't know what I'm doing. Right. There we go. Just like that. I'm just going to push that down just a tiny little bit, and we'll get some snips. Is that? Oh, nearly. See? Why did nobody tell me that I hadn't tightened that off? You're supposed to be keeping me right. Snips. There goes one. There goes the other one. Check, make sure there's no bits sticking out there. Is that sticking out? Hang on. That's fine. Right, let's find a pulsy thing. Or what do we call it? A tab. Who came up with the name tab? Does anybody know who came up with that? Oh, that was the name of the company, wasn't it? Was that the name of the company that we used to use? Remember that came out with the original tabs? Anyway, I'm talking mince here. Jesus, what's that set to? Turn that down. Let's get some hotspots out here. There we go. That'll do. Let's quench that. Get the juice. Coil. Lovely. Leave that off there. Friday morning. Thank you. See, there's a reason why we like John to be about. Today we're going to use some of this cotton because it was sent on free. Now, before I always used to show off this cotton because I got that for free as well. But because I like winding up these guys, I'm going to use this stuff. Or am I? Anyway, let's get some of this. Obviously, I'll use too much like I always do. Put that to one side. Get that back. Listen, I'm going to say this before things go wrong, but building a tripod's as easy and straightforward as it gets. This is where it goes horribly wrong. There we go. Nice and tight in there. I'm just going to cut it off there and there. Give it a little blowout. You can all complain that I'm not doing it the right way and you would do it another way, but that's the way I'm doing it. And I'm going to take a 45-degree cut down there because that's something that I saw somebody else doing many years ago and I've done it ever since. Probably Scott, Mr. Bonner, because he was the man. And then we're going to go into the juice wells like we always do and just poke it down. Obviously, because you're all vaping professionals, you will know, depending on the PG-VG ratio, if you're mouth to lunging and all that jazz, will depend on how much cotton you need to use. I've actually got too much cotton here. But just to be sure, I'm just going to poke it back through the wick holes. I've got a little bit too much on this side, but I'm going to wing it. We're just going to go with it. Listen, I'm not doing a mouth to lung build here at the same time. I'm not going to do a mouth to lung build. Trust me, it does 0.8. It will do a 0.8 and it does it really, really well, especially with that reduced chamber and the pins and so on. But yeah, so am I missing something here? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Oh, hang on. I did. See? Something always goes bloody wrong with me. I would have filled this with juice and it would have peed out everywhere. Ah, that's right. Okay. That's all good. No! Oh, go back on. Oh, look what I've done. I've buggered this up. I've not done this right. Why? Oh no. Have I got this the wrong way round or something? And my hands are covered in e-liquid. No. Bear with me while I get all the e-liquid off my hands so that I can turn this. It was going so well. It was going so well. You can't win them all. Look, there's just that. Or is that... Am I dreaming here? Am I, mate? Is that okay? It is okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'll soon find out if it's not fine. Yeah. I'm actually showing you the one thing I hate about this. Do you know the things like the Skyfall, the Evil Reaper, was it the EVL and whatnot? They have to take the tank off. So when you want to open up the juice flow, you can see I've got the juice flow open here. If you want to close the juice flow, you back it off and then you spin it fully counterclockwise. The tank comes off. That's how you separate the tank from the deck. It does mean if you're using things like side-by-sides, you know what, there's other tanks that do have the same system, but they have a midpoint, so that the midpoint is where the tank and the deck separate. I kind of wish that's the only thing that I've really got an issue with. It's the only thing I kind of wish that this still had. It's a definite improvement over the V1, but it's just, yeah, it's the only thing that I've got to grumble and moan about. But I'm just going to pop this on here just now. Tighten that off. Get E down. And I'm just going to fill it up with juice and we're going to go from there. The base attachment looks just like the Gobby. You think? Juice. Top cap. Drip tip. I'm using my Turnwood FX drip tips in it because they look so nice. I'm also using the F mod, if you're wondering what that is. And scrape. Yes, the scrape. Skyfall. Yeah. It won't affect you on day to day because it's, if you think of the tank, they actually show you this in the manual. It's a 3-part section: top cap, tank, base. If you're unscrewing it, you're better off, you know, holding the base to unscrew it. If you unscrew it holding the tank, and you have any upward movement, then you're going to separate the two. So you're always best unscrewing it from the base. Once again, it's the only niggle that I have. It's the only niggle that I have. And to be fair, that's quite a positive thing. Hang on. 3, 4, 5. And there we go. That's, once again, that's the 4mm, that's the default ear pin. But you saw what you get with the deluxe kit for 100. Sure call at the end of the day. Also, that, once again, that is the extended tank. That's the extended tank. How many watts for that build? Right, I'll tell you what, questions. If you've any questions, because I've kind of shown you how to put a build in it, how things come apart and all the rest of it. So it's kind of, yeah, you've kind of seen everything that you need to see. So, yes, it looks like an armour. Matthew Cadle, think I'll stick to the OG. Your prerogative, my friend. If you're happy with the OG, stick with the OG. Nobody's going to try and convince you otherwise here. Who makes the tripod? It's in the title of the video, man. It's in the title of the video. Come on. Can you adjust the airflow without it unscrewing? Don't understand the question, Mike. Adjust the airflow without unscrewing. You take the deck out from the airflow, the AFC, and you adjust it from underneath. I think all these guys get a hard time because you do a great job what you do. I truly enjoy watching your lives. Matthew Jones, I'm sending you my address. You're coming round for coffee and special times. Thank you. How much is the extended tank? Don't know. Don't care. I got it for free. I actually don't know how much the extended tank is. Height with the extension kit. That's a very good point. It is. Actually, I'm not taking it off the mod because I can't be bothered. But what I can do is cheat. 42, it's about 45, it's about 40, not including the 510 or including the drip tip or anything like that. You're looking about 45, 43 millimeters. Does it fit in a Unific? Yes, it does fit in a Unific. Are the extensions cross-compatible? The extension tank? That I don't know. I don't know about the extension tank. Really don't know. Sorry, I can't answer that one. Is it going to be available on the website? Come on, the Martin. Hi, Archie. It's fixed airflow. Yeah. Josh, he knows that. He's just been a special individual. Mike, does it not have adjustment on the ring for this one? Did you watch anything in this video at all? It does. I'd get all upset if it wasn't for the fact that I know for a fact that Mike's sitting in the toilet watching this video. You do unboxing videos. Could you recommend anybody that does reviews? No. Is it better than the Har? No. Other questions, right? Serious questions. I will try and answer. Pricing. I gave the pricing already. For the deluxe kit, it's 130 euros. For the standard kit, it's about 100 euros, if I remember right. What does it vape like? Flavor 1 to 10, tight draw, etc. The draw it depends on the airpin you're using. That's the answer for that. The flavor is like the Atmizoo. It's like the V1. The flavor is as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets. It really is. What's at the bottom of the tin? I showed you. I did show that. How much does it weigh? I'm not telling you. X9, 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 X9. Hi Todd, years ago you reviewed an RDA that had a square air hole. Dude, I can't. Seriously, I couldn't even tell you what my middle names are right now, okay? So asking me about stuff like that is yeah, that's not going to happen. Is it 22, 24 diameter? 22. It's 22 millimeters. Matthew, I've heard that the V2 is better for restricted direct lung over mouth to lung. Would you agree? No, I wouldn't. I would disagree. I would say that it excels at everything it needs to do. You use the correct chimney, you use the correct pin tube, you dial it into however you want. So I don't think it excels at one thing over the other. I think it's good across the board. Capacity, John, I already gave. I will give again, since you're over 60 and being a senior citizen, I obviously want to help my senior citizens. Without the tank extension, so as it comes stock, with the open chimney, it holds 2 mil. If you use the restricted chimney, it holds 2.8 mil of juice. If you've got the tank extension, it will hold 3.4 mil of juice. If you have the restricted chimney in the extended tank, it will hold 3.8 mil of juice. Thank God I've got that written down. Matthew, catch you later, buddy. People are just being silly. I love people being silly. It makes it fun. It makes it fun. It would be boring otherwise. It would be really boring. My upper body strength is garbage. How much does it weigh? About as much as my left leg. No. Any negative points? Yes. The negative point that I can give is to take the tank off, separate the tank from the deck, you turn the top anti-clockwise and it separates. It means that you have to remember, when you're unscrewing the whole thing off your mod, you have to grab it from the bottom. If you don't grab it from the bottom, then it's easy to separate the two parts. This is not the only tank that's like this. There are lots of tanks like this that do the same thing. Where it becomes kind of an issue is if you're using things like the Unific or side-by-side mods with cages and things like that. That's where it's... I still prefer it over the original. It still works better than the original. It's a minor quibble. It's minor, and outside that, I struggle to fault this. The only other thing I would say is, once again, remember that when you take the deck out, you can separate it. You can actually take the deck out as well. You might get some condensation build up under there as well. So that's about it. Sasha's buffering. Who cares? Blah blah blah. I think dogs are better than cats. I would agree. I would agree. But I'm actually gonna have another puff. Can you use it without any airflow pins in the bottom? I'm pretty sure you can, actually. I'm pretty sure you can. In fact, I think Tassos actually said that. I actually think I read it in the manual that you can. I don't want to click on the manual. Listen, I have a lot of... the other con I've got for you, and it's not something that you can hide, is whilst it is 2 millimeters shorter than the original, it's still a tall tank. It's still a tall tank. Compared with some other ones that are on the market that have even more capacity but are still shorter, it's just one of those things. But at least it's not as tall as the Squape, because yeah, nothing's taller than the Squape, not even the Har. Hopefully Chris doesn't see this. You need aircon. I've actually got an air purifier cranked up, going away in the bottom there. The doors actually open as well a little bit. So does that open to 4.5 millimeters? I don't know. I never measured it without the pin. I would have to go and open the manual, and that goes against my religion, so I'm not going to look at that. Thank you for your time and patience, TD. Yeah, but right. I'm going to stop here. So, You have the pricing. I gave you the pricing. I've given you the dimensions. You know what comes in the deluxe kit, which comes in the basic kit. You know that you get an extension kit as well if you want. Increase the capacity. You know it comes with 2 chambers. You get the 2 chambers restricted, mouth to lung type one. I gave you the sizes for the inner bore in that. I'm pretty sure. Build wise, I must admit I prefer a 2.5mm ID. That's a 2.5mm ID coil in there, fuse Clapton 0.35, and that just works a treat for me. You'll get bigger using just round wire and so on and so forth, but I believe for this, and even with the mouth to lung, yeah, I really think, anyway, muck about with it, you'll figure it out yourself. Take the tank apart and pull the pin out. I want to see. No. And when's this at in the market? I think I said at the start they were for sale last weekend in Vape Expo in Paris. I think that maybe they've gone up for sale. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they've gone up for sale in the Facebook group next. They'll be up there first, and then hopefully the following week or the week after that they'll go up on the Atmizoo website. That was the plan, I do believe. That was the plan. How many will they be making? Thousands, no doubt. Thousands. Rick, you're welcome. Where's the best place to get a build tab in the UK? Seeing as mine later died. I don't know. To be honest, if you got a build tab, I would just go and buy an old crappy mod. Or the BP mods. BP mods one. I think they're in stock in a lot of places, so you can still pick up the old Coil Masters and whatnot. The only thing with the BP mods one, I will say, is that the 510 pin's quite low in it. It is actually quite low, but it's been working great. Hatman, yes you will. You'll be more attractive to females, maybe not of the same sex. No, that's wrong. Not the same sex. You know what I mean. I know. I'll try. What's the lovely record player in the background? That is a vintage Thorns. That's what that is. That's a vintage Thorns. I like my old 70s hi-fi, because that's when I got my first hi-fi stuff, was in the 70s or late 70s, very late 70s. That's it. That's all I've got, guys. I just want to say a massive thank you to the guys at Atmizoo. They sent this on. I got this free. I do believe I've still given you the cons as I see them. I'm sure there will be other reviews come along where you may hear more cons or more positives, but as always, I'm not the last word in how something performs or whatnot. Go and watch as many videos as you can. Go and read the manuals online before you buy anything. Do your homework, please. So thanks to Atmizoo. Thank you to you for your time and patience and your... Oh, I've got new comments. Sorry, missed. Sorry, missed comments. Did you I love you anyway. I'm going to watch the V1 review. Nigel at SVB does build tabs. But thank you for the review. But how's TJ? TJ's great. Thank you very much. He's doing well. Great review. Thanks to Justice for TJ. TJ's in the house. And if I had justice for TJ, it would be... No, I can't. Do you know how long it takes to get him out of the house? Anyway, go away. The missus is out. She's not back home until 9:15. So that still gives me time to order a sneaky chippy and stuff my face before she comes home. I can't believe I said that out loud. Anyway, bye.